Hello, vicarious mercenaries, proxy ninjas, and pop culture PhDs. Welcome to the Rec Room. Top of the week to you. Sunday's coming to a close, but it's still the beginning of the week, so hopefully that means good things in store. So we're going to be back in action, just doing some chill stuff, kind of like doing the pop-up stream usually on Sundays and Fridays. The time's not set, the game's not set. It's kind of a, get what you get kind of thing. If you are new to the Rec Room, this is your virtual hangout for creative project updates, pop culture commentary, and deep dives into franchises that inspire any of the above. And actually got probably a few things to go through tonight. Probably going to be a little bit of repeat stuff this week because we've got our first show coming up, but I'll get into the details on that in a second. So definitely try to keep it time friendly and try to obviously keep it ahead of when the event occurs, but not have it so far out that everybody's getting bombarded for days or weeks on end. So yeah, we'll have a little bit in that department. But for starters, so first up, thanks for the new follow and over on Pilled, and thanks for the show support from Sheriff Hector over there, much appreciated. And also an interesting note, so we have this happen from time to time where I'll see some stuff kind of break away in terms of views, and it's been interesting that I never know what's going to take off and what's not, but it's very nice to see that even for those of you who lurk and hang out and check things out, even if we're not live, that tends to be more reflected maybe in the view count than more so than, say, chatting. And over on Twitch last week, it looks like Metal Slug Tactics and even Stealth Inc. did fairly well in views. So it's nice to see growth because, man, we start this out on from nothing. So we're come. Wow, it's actually a few days away from the 2-day birthday of the Rec Room / Hyperstream. And yeah, starting out, I'd be lucky to get single digits, but now if we're getting past tens and into 20s, that's a great appreciation to all of you out there who've been hanging out with us. And I know some of you have been hanging out pretty consistently in the chat too, so I always enjoy that, whether it's picking up other game tips, if some of you are familiar, or even if it's just random chatter like pop culture and social media stuff, all good. A couple other interesting things have happened in terms of the streaming thing this week. So for doing this for a couple years, admittedly, I'm not somebody who is a great master of the streaming ecosystem, I guess to put it that way. I'm pretty busy, creating stuff. The only time I really consume any kind of content is mostly if I need background noise. But of course, with video gaming, that involves a lot more, watching stuff to see what's going on. So for the most part, I would probably either be doing news or music in the background and not as much on, video game stuff. But now I'm getting so frustrated with like the narratives and the repeat commercials on the news. I'm like, you know what? Time to shift some of that. And because some of the cool things have been happening over the last week, it's like, I might as well start putting, some streamers on the background too, if I can find stuff. The reason why I have not done so is because, sometimes personalities are kind of grating, depending on, worldview. And what I'm referring about what's happened the last couple of weeks, I've finally run into some more family-friendly streamers. And so thanks to either on account of raids or the people who have joined and talked about people they know, I'm running into some more people that would actually be more enjoyable to have on in the background. So that's kind of cool. And I think that means I need to start getting a little bit more involved. And I guess one of the reasons, even though I kind of knew what a raid was, I haven't really done much with it yet because I'm like, well, if we only got one or two people, haven't really thought about how to move that. Or the thing is, like, who do I move them to? Because I don't know who's out there. So now as things are starting to grow and as I'm starting to connect with more of you out there, hopefully that will become more of a connection, either on similar games or just similar views. So hopefully that should be pretty cool. And speaking of community, Chairman is stopping in over on YouTube. Good early evening to you as well. But that's pretty much it for stream platform stuff. So talking about project-wise, so today was kind of interesting. I had high hopes of making solid progress on audio stuff, which I've really had a tough time getting momentum on the last week or so. I made progress. Some of the files gave me an issue on some of the imports because I had already moved some of the stuff off on one computer because it was like a year and a half old, but I had to get that in. And of course, files were misaligned. But it was probably good when I had a breakpoint when I did because now that I've got our new prints in for the next show, I had to get a video done, and also that involved cleaning up Studio S to get that done, to have the backdrop, to do the TikTok video. So just in case you're interested, over on our TikTok account, I've got a quick sample of the new prints that are going to be available for the show this weekend. Of course, it's got the date, the time, the information that is also available in the Linktree account. I've got a post to the Facebook event there, so I'm trying to keep you infoed on all the relevant stuff there. And we're going to have shows the next 2 Saturdays. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area, Michigan, on those weekends, in case you're even out of the area, so we'll be at L'Anse Creuse High School North this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is in Macomb, Michigan. I'll talk about the following one, next week. But following one will be at Roseville High School on April 12th for their craft show. But we'll talk about that more later on. So let me see here. I think that's it for project stuff. So I did kind of mention in like one of the descriptions. So pop culture wise, it's kind of interesting. We have reached the conclusion of another anime season because it kind of runs in quarters. And I guess I say this facetiously, kind of want to have a moment of silence for the gap that's going to now happen now that Solo Leveling and Shangri-La Frontier will be on a gap until their next seasons. And I guess I figure I have some review or some thoughts on those now that I've had a chance to watch both of them having 2 seasons now. But what's kind of bizarre, Shangri-La Frontier has had 2 full seasons each, 24 to 25 episodes. Meanwhile, Solo Leveling split its seasons to be half of that. So even though it was technically a season 2 of Solo Leveling, it was only 12 episodes each. So it's only got half the amount of content. And it's mind-boggling that there is so much isekai anime right now. It's almost reaching the point of just monotonous or redundant or extraneous, whichever word you want. And it's not, there's sometimes I can enjoy the genre, but sometimes it gets so repetitive. But yeah, I consider Solo Leveling almost like a reverse isekai, because you've got fantasy stuff popping into the real world, and then Shangri-La Frontier is more one of 2 types I see most common. One is either, hey, you get warped into some medieval RPG fantasy, or it's video game in which you're playing a medieval RPG fantasy. So it doesn't really deviate too much in the model, and it really depends on how well they do the scenario, the characters. And I guess I don't know which one I started with, because I think both were probably airing around the same time. I think maybe I was behind on Shangri-La Frontier and caught up on that, and then Solo Leveling I think started out last year, beginning of 24. I could be wrong, but somewhere around there. And I enjoy both of them, and they have different strengths and weaknesses. Solo Leveling is so intense, but one of my concerns is that the character development is so fast-paced that it's like the character goes through this progression, and you as an audience almost don't even have time to catch up. In a way, it almost creates this Superman broken level type of character. And in a way, it's like you kind of want to see your character struggle, because really most of the struggles boil down to like, oh, I'm at a deficit here, but let me bust out this new ability that I haven't used yet. So I'm not sure what to think about that. There's definitely been some interesting things they did toward the tail end of season 2. Like, I didn't fully expect how that was going to do. Now, one thing it's also interesting that it does is it has more perspectives running at the same time. You've got the politics of these other guilds and the politics of these other countries conflicting, with I'm assuming the main region is Korea instead of Japan for a change, because I think you had, a Japan or Japanese faction be allied in the second season, and there's some conflicts going on there. And it's interesting to try to see some of these other story threads or perspectives in parallel. So sometimes it's kind of jarring in the sense that you'll see the main character in combat, and then it'll cut to some of the other parallel things. Now, they are relevant. It is cool to see some of these supporting characters built up, but I think because of the pacing of the show, it's definitely a bit different. So I have enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to whenever they get season 3 out there, despite it being only like very, very light thus far. So that'll be cool. Also, so with Shangri-La Frontier, that has a lot more to deal with video games. So if you're into gaming, there is some pretty fun references in there. The main character is playing on this virtual game. He normally plays garbage games, and he learns how to exploit them. And because of his expertise at exploiting game mechanics, he's good at doing that in this modern game, which is top of the line virtual reality. And it creates such problems for the developers because it violates the path that they had for players. Think of like a World of Warcraft, and they're kind of messing with the bosses before it was intended. And The one thing I find odd about Shangri-La Frontier is that they show the development team at one point. I don't know if it was. I think it may have been pretty late in the first season, and they treat it like as if there is one person who does game development, almost like in this vault, and then you've got the person that does the mechanics, and then there's one person doing the story, and they're at odds with each other because you got to do one versus the other, almost to the point where them getting in cat fights, and then you got some executive having to break up their fight. Game development takes a lot more people than that. So I found that to be like a little bit goofy, but that's such a minor thing. But overall, story is fun, the character interactions are fun, and it's just fun to have those in-game references that, you know, from a gaming standpoint are quite relevant. The one other thing is kind of weird though with the pacing with Shangri-La Frontier after 2 seasons is that they break up some of the story in some of the weirdest places or have different pacing. Like there was a boss fight in season 2 that took up at least 4 episodes. Then they go back to exploration of a normal area, which takes multiple episodes, but then the characters break away, go play another game, introduce another character, start on a game tournament, and they've now ended the season just before the game tournament even starts. So it's a little weird to not have like a nice little bow put on the conclusion of a season, because Solo Leveling actually did that. I mean, there's clearly a lot more going to happen in Solo Leveling, but they at least ended the season with, okay, just in case things don't finish, you at least get this sense of closure, versus Shangri-La Frontier is like, clearly we are ending this right in the middle of big action about to happen. So I guess I'm partial to having the closure, but I've enjoyed those. Now looking forward to spring. It looks like we're going to have Fire Force Season 3, and I got some reservation about where My Hero is going to go with a spinoff called My Hero Academia Vigilantes, because the final season of My Hero is not going to be until fall. So I'm looking forward to both, and I there might be some other things, because I know there's some other shows of lesser popularity that are due for another season anytime soon. But if I run across those, I'll let you know. But yeah, it's been interesting to catch up on some of that, and I know I'm going a little long-winded here, but because we're doing Ninja Gaiden tonight, and you know, again, Japanese stuff ties in together really well. Action, martial arts, cool stuff, you know. But that's all I got. So let's talk about Ninja Gaiden here for a sec. So we're on episode 15, which I called Skyline to Skyplane, because we kind of left off. I was only able to do 2 chapters last time, and that left off before getting to Rachel's. So we'll be starting off with Rachel's chapter here, and then we are going to, I think that's going to jump us to the Flying Fortress Daedalus. I forgot what the exact chapter name was, but that'll be next, and then seeing how things go, maybe we'll head into the Russian level 2. Submit or Die. Remember the name of that one. But we'll see how this goes. Let me check my audio. So Chairman said you want some more mercenaries too. I know. It's just tough because we got, I think we got four to 5 games, well maybe 5 to 6 games on the radar for April and May. I've got 2 new games I haven't even touched on PS5 yet, not to mention the backlog of PS4 stuff. And on top of that, a good friend gave me some of his older library for like Xbox 360. So there's content galore to pick from, and it's tough. Not to mention, you know, as I've mentioned, I still want to go back and try to make sure I figure out where all the collectibles are for some of those sandbox games we've done already. And I was also looking at Just Cause as a sandbox game, and there's no way I could dive into that franchise, especially with some of the older stuff maybe not having content available. But there's a lot to pick from, and trying to keep the focus on the stuff that's of highest quality and most enjoyment. You know, that's why it kind of surprises me, things like Stealth Inc., you know, being so obscure that you know, people are hanging out, because I'm enjoying the puzzle solving element. Now, speaking of, you know, we got Ninja versus Stealth Seed coming out just in a couple weeks. So Stealth Seed's looking like it's got the action of like a Stellar Blade or a Nier or Bayonetta, but it's also got the stealth stuff. You would think a Ninja game would have more stealth in it, but Ninja Gaiden is clearly 100% action. You know, so stealth really is not in play here. Make sure I get the correct one. Might as well use the costume we unlocked. Don't have that one. The business suit one. Oh, so Chairman, so you're backing up. Just Cause 3 is good. See, that's what I also heard. So that was the first one I was looking at. So if I were to start, I'd start there, and I saw there is DLC available. It's on PS4. Shut up, demon goat.
Where is the dragon ninja?
Missing a couple teeth there, pal. Evil maniacal laugh. Here's the shiny fiend armor. Ooh, that one's got mustard inside.
This is going nowhere.
The best weapon in the game is the nuke launcher. Oh, okay. Didn't know it had one. I basically just watched a video. A guy was showing some shenanigans with a grapple. He was like stringing a bus to the side of a bridge and, you know, a car to a deer. You know, so that's the kind of goofiness I like. That's what I'm also kind of hoping will be in Deliver at All Costs, which is coming out in May. So it will definitely be fun to have a sandbox game again. So yeah, it's just all about budget and time and what can get in the rotation. All right, so I got to remember to start dashing again here since I haven't played in a couple days. End up in Resident Evil mode and then using a different button to aim instead of dodge. Alright, so they block the path there. We go a little bit differently than Ryu's version. Here comes the big ones. He wants to try that. Only to fail and lose a limb. Oh, fireball, huh? Oh, good, my dishwasher finally shut off. Noise. I had to check, make sure that wasn't going to be too loud here. I got the roll over the back. What are you going to do with that? Alright, let's see what's happening here. So, I can never remember. Clear out this area. There's nothing in the corners like when Ryu plays through. There we go. Let's see if I can get some headshots going here. Headshot decapitation. No, not that way. I want to hit you, not you hit me. There it is. Got it. It's dead and falling over anyway, but... Oh, come on, roll over him. There we go. Kind of. If they had enough hits to survive, if you get the roll over and take their head off. Alright. Yeah, it feels like her level is just so short comparative to Ryu when he goes through here. Because he's got to go underground, through the subway. He's like, just walk over the tower that's under construction. Go up the tower, fight the boss, the end. Ooh, you didn't like that, did you? Oh, you got all your limbs. Oh, this guy's the one that's missing one. Green and blue, these don't match. It's more of like a greenish yellow. No, you may not fireball me. Come here. Oh, he had some interrupt there. Oh, did it again. There, you didn't like that. Nope, that just knocked him out of the air, though. There we go. We'll chop him up a little bit more. Who wants minced fiend for dinner? Fiend. It's what's not for dinner. Alright, nothing over there. In we go. I need the healths. You know, wrecked here. Well, I guess he's gonna go down anyway. Come back here. Oh, he got me out of the ground. I was waiting for him to pop up first. Listen here, you. Alright, this is getting dirty. He's got a little too much on the priority. Oh, I'm gonna be dead. Got somebody there. Oh, what? What?
This is where you fall down.
Well, that's not good. Now I can go back to the beginning. Jeez. Wow. That's harsh. We don't get the save point until like halfway up the, And we don't make it difficult, we just make it annoying. Oh, he's still fighting without a head. I didn't think they did that. Oh, there's a blue. I don't even need a blue now. Come here. I mean, do I have health? Well, I guess I got health to start with, so I guess maybe it's my fault then. Can't blame me, I gotta blame the game. No, no, you don't. One above me, where is he? Yeah, that guy. No, get off. Down, fiendo. Somebody here is missing a limb. Oh, both of you are. Alright. Our business is concluded here. Yeah, you can dodge all you want. Oh. Oh, he's still fighting. There it is. You're done. Oh, hit the other one. Do a lateral swing. Some area of effect damage, please. Yeah, so we got some people hanging out on Twitch. Welcome. Lurkers and chatters. All welcome and appreciated. I don't have any of this cool special tech to say lurk or whatever. So many things about Twitch that apparently I'm not leveraging. It'd be a little distracting to me, though, to have all the automated stuff kind of piling in there, though. Does not help any with sensor issues. I got him. No, get off. Oh, hit me in the jump, huh? So I got hit, and then I apparently picked up a blue right after. Oh, armored hits. That's, oh, come on, guys. One at a time. Take a number. There, for good measure. Oh, no, not again! Oh, should have used health, but then by that time it's too late. Well, this is going to get rather repetitive. No problems with Ryu, but Rachel... Another story. Sucks. I went downhill real fast. Quit trying to hit me from... This is dirty when enemies can hit you without any kind of, like, warm-up window. I don't like RNG. Otherwise, you gotta play these massive keep-away games and stuff. See, seriously, stop it. At least they gave me blue. Let's see if it's enough. There we go, back to full. Call the Stealth is popping in, too, so... Oh, really? We're about to hit severe weather. Oh, you're not kidding. Yeah, air raid siren's going off. You know what? I may, Dang it. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna punt for now. May not be the best night for this in case stuff's gonna go out, so at least if I can end it now, better to do so. Alright, thanks for the heads up. So I didn't even hear it till you said that. So, okay, well, I'm gonna cut this one short then because of weather, so... Usually don't call games on account of weather, but when you got windstorms, I hopefully don't have any kind of tornado nonsense, but... Alright, unfortunately a short one.